Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, or welcome if you are a first time here. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to crochet this nice bow that you can use as an accessory for your hair. And it's a very simple tutorial, and it takes about 1 hour or 2 hours at most to make this hair bow. And basically very simple and beginner friendly. So if you're interested, please keep on watching, and then if you find this video interesting, please give it a thumbs up, and yeah, let's get into it. So these are the materials that you will need for this project. I have some DK weight yarn here. You can use worsted weight yarn, and then I'll be using a 4.5mm crochet hook. You also need scissors to cut your yarn, and then some tapestry needle to weave in the ends of your work. Okay, feel free to make this in any color of your choice, but I choose to use color red. And let's get started. So you want to start by making a slip knot, like so. Grab your hook and insert it into that knot, adjust it to fit the size of your hook, and now I'm going to chain 20. I'm going to skip the first 7 chains. So from your hook here, this loop on your hook does not count as a stitch, so you don't count it. You count from this stitch here. So we have 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7, and then I'll go into the 8th stitch to work my first double crochet. Okay, so if you don't know how to work a double crochet, just hold on, I will show you in a minute. So once you've done that, now we're going to chain 2, 1 and 2, and then look at the bottom here. We're going to skip 2 chains. So this is where we just walked into. We're going to skip 1 and 2, and then we're going to go into this third one and make a double crochet. So to make a double crochet, you yarn over, that is, you wrap your yarn around your hook, and then you insert that hook into the stitch, and then you pull up a loop. Okay, now you should be having these 3 loops on your hook. You want to yarn over, that is, you grab some yarn and then you pull it through 2 loops, and then you grab some yarn again and pull it through the last 2 loops on the hook. It's as simple as that. So now I'm going to chain 2 again and skip another 2 chains, 1 2, and then walk into the third one and make a double crochet. I'm going to repeat that 2 more times until I've exhausted my my chains. So at the end of the first row, you should have something that looks like this. We are creating a mesh stitch. So to begin the second row, we are going to start by chaining 5. 1 2 3 4 and 5, and then turn your work, and then into this double crochet here, we're going to make another double crochet on top of it. Rather, on top of this double crochet, you insert your hook into the back of that stitch, and then you make another double crochet on top. You chain 2, and then you insert your hook into the next double crochet and make a double crochet on top, and then you just continue like this until you reach the very end of the row. Chain 2. Now into this last mesh here, this last gap here, I'm just going to go into the gap itself. Okay, I'm not going to pick up the chain here. I'm just going to go into it and then make my last double crochet, and then it just sits comfortably on top of it like that. So now I'm going to chain 5 and turn my work. Okay, and then I'm going to begin row 3 the same way I did my row 2. Okay, so this is a 1 row repeat. We're just going to keep chaining 5 at the beginning of every row. Make 1 double crochet into the double crochet, and then chain 2 and make double crochet again. So we're going to repeat this process over and over again until we have a total of 32 rows. Okay, so you want to do this until you have 32 rows. So I have 32 rows all done here. Now you want to grab your 32 rows of your mesh pattern and then just fold it in two like this. This is creating the main body. This 32 rows that we've done is creating the main body of our bow. So I'm just going to insert my hook into my stitch. By the way, when you're done with your 32 rows, you don't want to cut off your yarn because we're still going to use that same yarn to seam the pieces together. Okay, so when you work this pattern, you will notice that there's no front or back to it, so you just want to you can fold this anyhow, right? The same pattern at the front is the same pattern you have at the back, so just fold it however you will, and then we're going to sew it together using single crochet stitches. Okay, so with my hook inside my last loop here, I'm just going to insert my hook into the corner of the other one and then just pull out a loop and make something like a slip stitch, and then I'm going to make one chain and go back into those holes and make a single crochet. I'm going to make a second single crochet, and then now I'm going to pick up the double crochet stitches of both the front and the back piece, and then I'm going to sew that together with a single crochet too. Now into the holes again, we make 2 single crochets, and then the next stitch would be a double crochet stitch, and then you make your single crochet into them. Okay, and you just want to repeat this to sew up your main piece, your main part of the bow. When I get to the end, I'm going to fasten off, and using my tapestry needle, I'm going to weave in my ends. So this is my piece all sewn up together. Now I'm just going to flip it inside out and keep that seam at the center of the piece, and we're just going to set this aside while we work on our second part. Or to make the second part, you want to grab your yarn, and we're going to start with a slip knot like before. And now I'm going to chain. I'm going to chain a total of 7. So 1, 2. But after you make that 2 chains, just block or hold on to the second one, because that chain we're going to come back to work into it. So hold on to that second chain and make 5 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now into that second chain I held, I'm going to go in and make a double crochet. Okay, so we have a double crochet like this, and we are working up this way. Okay, now I'm going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm going to turn my work, yarn over, and then insert my hook into this corner here. Okay, we're not going here, we are working into this corner here, and then I'm going to make a double crochet, and then I'm going to chain 2 and come and walk into this chain here. Okay, so this time I'm not just going into the hole here, I'm going into the chain here so that I can form my corner properly. Okay, so I have something like this. So what we have here is that we are increasing. So this is my first row here where we have one mesh, and then moving on we have 2, and then we keep going like that until. So now I'm going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm going to turn my work, make 1 double crochet into this corner like so. Then I'm going to chain 2 and make 1 double crochet into this double crochet here, and then I'm going to chain 2 again and then make 1 double crochet into a chain at this corner here. Just pick any chain that is at the corner and then insert your hook and make it. Okay, so now we have 3 on top here. We're going to chain 5 and then repeat that process, and at the end of this row we would have 4. So double crochet here, chain 2, double crochet here, chain 2 again, and double crochet here, chain 2, and go into this corner, pick up a chain, and then make a double crochet right into it. Okay, So now we have 4 holes here. I'm going to repeat this process one more time. Okay, then go into this corner and make 1 double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, chain 2, another double crochet, chain 2, another double crochet, chain 2 again, and the final double crochet into this corner. Okay, so there we have 5 holes, 1 2 3 4 5. So at this point now we've done 5 rows, 1 2 3 4 5. So now we're going to stop increasing and just start working our regular mesh stitch. So to do that, I'll chain 5, 1 2 3 4 and 5, turn my work, and then instead of going into this corner like we were doing before, I'm going to go straight into this double crochet here. So that's the second double crochet. I'm going to go into that and then chain 2 and then into the next double crochet and chain 2 into the next double crochet, chain 2 again into the next double crochet, chain 2, and now I'm not going to go into the chains again. I'm just going to go straight into that corner, into the hole, and then make my last double crochet. Okay, so you're just going to continue working the mesh pattern like we did here, and I'll be back when I have 27 rows for this piece. Okay, so here I have 27 rows of this piece, and then I'm just going to show you how to reduce so that we can fasten off, how to reduce so that we can have a tapered end like we have here. Okay, so I'm going to start by chaining 3, 1 2 and 3. Okay, chain 3 and then we're going to work double crochet into here, double crochet, and there you have, we're beginning to reduce right there. Okay, and you're just going to chain 2 and work our stitches normally until we get to here. So chain 2, double crochet in the next stitch, chain 2, double crochet in the next, chain 2, double crochet in the next. Okay, chain 2, and in the last one here we're going to work normally, double crochet in the last one. Okay, so now when we get to this end, we are going to chain 3, 1 2 3, turn our work, and then I'm going to go into here and make 1 double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, chain 2. Now when we get here, you will realize that there's one last loop here, so you just want to go into the last stitch. You can either go into the stitch here or you can just go into this hole here, but I prefer to go into the stitch. So I'm going to go into the last stitch and make a double crochet, and we're just going to end here and chain 3 and move on to the next round. Okay, so we're basically just chaining 3 instead of chaining 5, and then reducing 1 stitch on one side, and we're going to continue that until we have no stitches left. So I have 3 chains and then turn my work and then insert my hook and then chain 2, double crochet, chain 2, and then here I'm just going to make a double crochet. This is my last stitch for the row. Okay, so you see how we had 5, then we have 4, then we have 3, and then chain 3 again to repeat the process until you have 2 and then you have 1. For straight line. Okay, so I've created my end here. Now I'm just going to chain 2 and then cut off the excess yarn, then just pull that through like that and tighten it. Just pull on it to create a tight edge. So now you just want to grab your tapestry needle and weave in all these ends so we don't have any ends hanging around. So you want to set this one aside after weaving in your ends, and then we are going to work on the last part of this project. Okay, start by making a slip knot as usual, and then insert your hook. Now we're going to make 7 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I'm going to skip 2 chains and go into the 3rd chain and make a double crochet. And then I'm going to make a double crochet into all the remaining chains. So that's my first row all done. I'm going to chain 2. Now I'm going to make 1 double crochet into all the stitches. 1, so now I'm just going to chain 2 and repeat my second row. As I repeat my row 2 for 6 rows until my piece is this big, like 2 or 3 inches high. Once you have your 6 rows complete, you want to leave a very long tail because we're going to use this to sew our piece together. And then I'm not going to fasten off. I'm just going to leave that loop, and then we're going to get to assembling these pieces together. Before we begin to assemble our pieces, I forgot to mention that there are some other things you would need to finish this project. You need some hair ties, or you can use some hair clips like this. Any accessory that you choose would work. But then if you are going to use the hair clips, you would need a hot glue gun or any kind of glue that you can to use to glue it onto your bow when you are done. But if you are using the hair tie, you don't need any glue. You can sew this in when we assemble it, and you'll see how I'm going to do that now. Okay, so you want to start by grabbing your main piece here and just placing it here. Remember we said that this seam should be in the center. So like that. I think I have mine in the center. I'm just going to place it like that. This where the seam is going to be the back of my work, and here is going to be the front of my bow. So this one too, I just want to find the center piece of it, the center of it here, and then I'm just going to line that one up also with the center of this one here. Now you just want to scrunch this up, okay, kind of like you're creating pleats. So I'm just going to start from here, and then I'm going to begin to scrunch it up like this, and then when I'm done with the main piece here, I'm going to pick this one too and also scrunch it up. Okay, and that is what is going to create our bow. Now this piece is what is going to wrap around this to hold it in place. Okay, so I'm going to start by placing it here like this. Our working yarn is still attached here, or just that extra yarn that you left, and then I'm going to place it over it like this while holding it together tight, as tight as you can hold it, and then just turn it over like this. Okay, turn it over like this and hold this our center piece together like this, like you want to sew it together. Okay, I'm going to turn it like this since I'm going to be sewing in this direction, and I'm beginning my sewing on this side. Okay, so now before I begin to sew, I'm just going to first of all insert my hook into that last loop there that I created. Okay, just to secure it. But then before I begin to sew, I'm going to grab my hair tie, and then I'm just going to place it here. Okay, so I want to sew over the hair tie, and that attaches it. You don't need any glue to do this part. You just want to sew over the hair tie, and it attaches it. Okay, so I'm going to go into my first stitch of the beginning here of this side, and then now insert my hook into that loop. there, and then just pull that loop through. Okay, like so. Okay, now I'm going to make one chain, and then I'm going to insert my hook into those first stitches again and make a single crochet. Okay, so this part might be a little bit tricky and you might find it a little bit difficult to see your stitches, but try to take your time when doing this part. So that's my first stitch here, and then my second stitch, front, back, and then make a single crochet. So once you do your first single crochet, your hair tie is pretty much already secure, so you don't need to keep holding that down. You can just focus on sewing the front and back of our centerpiece together. So that's my third single crochet. This is my fourth single crochet and my last single crochet into the last two stitches, and we are done. Okay, so now I'm just going to fasten off and weave in these ends so that I don't have any ends hanging around. Okay, so once you weave in your ends, you just want to adjust your bow to, to look nice and cute. And done adjusting my own, and I'm satisfied with how it looks. And that's it. This is your finished work. Very nice and beautiful. Cutesy and demure. So for this second piece I made here, I used clip for the back. So I glued this clip onto the back, and then it just opens up like this when you want to use it. Okay, so this is the finished tutorial for these hair bows, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked it. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up, and please subscribe to my channel if you're not already a subscriber, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.